What's up, guys? Joel Valley from Media Glitch here, and I am not alone. Got my good friend, Radical Reggie. Say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Thanks for being on the show. I mean, you're Media Glitch. You're Media Glitch family. You've been Media Glitch for
years now.
It's been a long time. Years, right?
Yeah. Remember that time we did an introduction and my seat turned around too slow when I tried to do the great reveal, and it was all laggy.
when you first joined the Media Glitch team.
Yeah.
You were like this. You're all like this.
I'm
like, damn, Reggie, go faster.
I was buffering, man.
Back in the days when you had that cricket internet. You know? So we do this every single year. We've been doing it for many, many years now, and that is our top 5, games of the year, games that we love, games that we played all the time, games we couldn't put down. And I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of games I didn't get to this year. Holy smokes, because I'm a film director, and I was busy this year. If you know, after being sick from COVID for so long, I felt like this was my first year to be back on the horse. I don't know how many music videos, commercials I did this year, and started a feature. So there was a lot of games I missed, but there are some good games, and I was able to make a list. Reggie, of course, is always playing. He loves, man, I don't know anyone who is as passionate and loves video games as much as this guy, and that is the truth. And so we are going to do our top 5. Reggie, how are you feeling about this year? Did you feel like it was a pretty good year?
I felt like it was a pretty good year. Not my favorite year in games, but it had one of the most anticipated games I wanted to come out this year, and it did not let me down. So, yeah, I would say 2024 was pretty good.
Now, maybe I'll tell you the games I wasn't able to play afterwards, because maybe you're here, you're hoping it's going to be on my list. And there's one in particular I know would have been on my list. I just didn't have time to play it. There's 2, actually, I feel like probably could have been on my list.
There's 3. 2 for me, too.
Three actually. Now that I think about it, there's 3. And so... But just, time is that, the games are so long nowadays, especially some of the games that like Reggie and I get down on. They're really long. A lot of times.
Or some games get delays too. Like they don't make it out in time and then we have to wait, and then that messes up our schedule.
Yeah. You know what I think? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The one that I can think of that would probably have been on here was a late release in the year. And so like right here towards the end. So anyway, we're going to get started. Reggie. Oh, before we get started, wait. Let us know in the comment section what your top 5 games are this year. And if you agree with our picks. Because we want to know. And I read all the comments, and I know Reggie does, because sometimes I see him come in there and just, talk to people. So, Reggie, I'm going to let you kick this bad boy off. What's your number 1? Or no, your number 5.
Number 5? I would... That's a tough one, but I would say Insignia All Guns Blazing. That game is a shoot 'em up that took me by surprise. It came out immediately with a physical release, which already attracted me. And, I love a great vertical shooter, and this game did not let me down, brother. It started out tough because I didn't know how to play it properly, but once I went through the tutorial, which I advise everybody to do, you'll learn how to play it. And this game pulls no punches. It is so much fun. It's definitely for the people who like a I won't say it's a hardcore shoot 'em up, but it's definitely one that's going to test your abilities, so you got to make sure you know what you're doing. But what I like about it as well is that it's story driven as well. So there's a compelling story. They kind of, make you want to go through it as well. Most shoot 'em up fans don't care about a story, but, I do. And I think the casual gamer usually cares about a story. And I think it's pretty well done. The story kind of like reminds me a little bit of Musha in a way. There's this girl, I don't want to reveal too much because people might think, spoilers or whatever like that, but she's trying to be a pilot, and she becomes one, but she's trying to be like her father and everything. So, she really wants to prove herself, and the intro kind of like really, gives you like this like mischievous, comical, not want to say comical, but more like this funny intro to kind of like show you what kind of character she is and everything. So I thought it was a really cool game. Definitely something that people should probably put on their radar, especially right now as of this video. You could get this physical copy for like $20. And it was definitely worth it. And it's published by Konami out of all people. Konami is getting back into the mix of producing games, good games, I would say. And I think this is one of them.
Yeah, that looks really cool. What I like about that game is, and I always felt like I wanted to see what a AAA shooter. Oh, your video's playing again, Reggie. There you go.
No, I know I did it on purpose, but I thought we were still full.
Oh no,
we're good.
What I like, I want to see a AAA, like Konami, but AAA shooter. You know, like that looks really good. The graphics and how there's depths to the level where you're looking down like that. Usually you're a shooter, you're in outer space, and it's like, and there have been a few. There was one, and I don't remember what it was called, several years back, and the bosses and everything looked so good. It looked just like they put good amount of time in the graphics. It wasn't just And then there's
generic, like off a cell phone or something.
What's that?
It wasn't like something generic, like a generic shooter off of like a cell phone.
Or something. Like let's get one that's just like AAA. Like I feel like that's getting closer. You know what I mean? I feel like they're doing the genre justice. Right. So that's a great number 5. I like that. So my number 5 is a little game that came out at the right time, and that is Tekken 8. And the reason why Tekken 8 made my list is because I don't know, I wasn't too into Street Fighter 6 like I thought I was gonna be. I'm probably into Street Fighter 6 more now than I was. And then Mortal Kombat 1 was just so imbalanced. And what's crazy is I did feel like Tekken 8 came around and just like knocked it out of the park. The graphics were amazing. As I played it, I was like, wow, like this looks really, really good. And I had so much fun, and the story mode was cool. And I'm not a Tekken professional. I don't know the whole storyline. I know that there's basically a dysfunctional family that throws each other's off cliffs. That's all I know. I don't know exactly all of that, but it even had like action elements to it. Like it turned into a beat 'em up at one point. The story mode, where you're like, and I was so happy with it. And what really sold me was by the time I got to the end, it felt so epic. And every block and every punch mattered at the end. It felt like I was like, I guess the best way to say it, like I was in that game. Like I'd never like played a story mode where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm fighting for my life. That's how I felt with Tekken, because it captivated me. I was so in it by the time I got to the end. And of course, the gameplay, just everything in general, I thought they hit the mark so well. And now they got Terry Bogard. Oh wait, no, that's Street Fighter. Sorry.
They got some character from Final Fantasy now, which is like wow.
Yeah, they're bringing in. I forgot his name because that was a last year's game, probably on my top 5. We'd have to go back and look, but yeah. So that's my number 5 is Tekken 8. I'm a fighting guy. I love fighting games, so of course you're gonna see one of those on my list.
Right on. So my next game is a survival horror, and I think people could appreciate it. It didn't sell well, unfortunately, but that is Alone in the Dark. Alone in the Dark is a remake of the original game, which I wasn't aware of. I thought it was like just a start over for the series, but it's actually a remake of the original Alone in the Dark, and you get to play as 2 different characters. But of course, I'm going to go with Edward Carnby. This game was trippy because like once you get to this. I forgot what it was. It was like a area where people like had problems were at. I forgot exactly what it was called. But anyways, you were looking for her
mental institute.
It was like a mental institute, but not really one. People weren't like locked down. They could like casually walk around and chill, and they had their own rooms and everything like that. And they were talking to like a doctor, but you would like go into different like dimensions. Like all of a sudden you open up a door, and then outside would be different. Like you be in a whole different like city or something like that. So I like how the game transitioned to those areas, and it was just really well done. I thought all the characters, the actors that played the characters did a great job. The game has multiple endings. The only thing I didn't like about it is, like when I'm in a mode, I don't want to deal with a lazy puzzle. I'm not saying it was a lazy puzzle, just annoying puzzle, I would say. I want to keep the progress going. But everything in this game was very well done. I still have to play as the other character. But still, like, my first experience with this game was amazing, and I thought it was not a AAA title, but I would say it's at least a AAA title. A double A title. So I feel bad it didn't sell well, and the company that made it kind of disbanded. So I don't know if we'll see another game in the series, but for a while at least. But this is the best Alone in the Dark since Alone in the Dark: The New Nightmare, and I think if you see it out there. It's going for $30 now. Definitely worth that price. It's a great experience. Yeah.
Right on. Was that the dude from Stranger Things?
Yeah, yes, him.
Okay, that's interesting.
He played a good Edward Carnby. I was like, oh, this guy's all right. This is good.
All right, cool. That didn't take you out of it or take away from the experience of the very first one you played?
No, because the very first one I played was actually part 4. I never played the original first and third game in the series. So, Edward Carnby's character is always getting reimagined. So I was okay with this, So okay.
Yeah, I'm not. The only one I ever played was the one on the PS3.
Yeah, that's the one that's considered one of the worst ones.
I loved it. If that's the worst one.
What?
Yeah, I actually loved it. I got my platinum. I had a great time with it.
I hated its ending, but
I don't even remember this ending, but you know me. Reggie's got a photographic memory, can remember every video game he's ever played. He'll be like, Joel, you remember, he'll be like, and like when the guy rose his hand and this happened, I'm like, what? How do you remember this stuff? I don't, like my hard drive at this age is so full, something's got to get deleted for something new to come in. And so, so my number 4 is a game that I'd heard a lot about. I played quite a bit of the first one. It has a very long name. You should never name a video game this long. But you can do it when you're already on a well-established franchise. And we're talking about, what is it? Warhammer 4000 Space Marine 2. I think I got it all right. I might have even forgot some of that. Now, this game is by Saber. And if you watch our Media Glitch streams, you should go subscribe to us over on Twitch. Media Glitch and watch our streams. Reggie and I play quite a bit of World War Z.
Oh yeah.
By the same company, and when you play this game, you feel those World War Z vibes. It's all over. Like the screen is just packed with enemies. It's bloody. It's gory. It's a very good time. So far, I haven't beat it yet, but you get those hordes and hordes of aliens, and where I think in World War Z, it seems like it's the huge mountains of zombies that are coming at you. They're in the background. They can come up, and you can. But here, man, if you don't get them before they come up, you're in trouble. Where I feel like World War Z, you have the benefits of putting down Gatling guns, and you have the benefit of putting down all these other things, which I haven't unlocked yet. If that's in the game, it might be. But here, you just got to fight, and you got to fight. And so, but the game visually impressive, very impressive game. And I would also say I have not played the multiplayer yet, which is odd. I need to do that. But because that's why I bought it, because we wanted to stream it on the stream team.
Yeah, I backed out of playing it, unfortunately.
And hopefully he'll get it on the cheap, and then we can play it. Because it really is well done. The graphics are great. It's just fun. It's fun time. Oh crap! I'm trying to stop the video, Reggie.
It's okay, man. I'm liking the footage I'm seeing here. I may pick this game up. If it becomes, I mean, it came out, I believe, at $80, but I think it might be 50 now. But I feel like 40 would be the sweet spot for me. So, but it's definitely looks like if it's made by Saber, who made the World War Z game, it's definitely worth getting, but I just didn't want to pay that much at the time. I wish it had 4 players in it. It only has 3. I don't know why games are doing that. Like, we want 4-player co-op, not 3-player, but maybe I'll be able to forgive them for that. We'll see.
Right on, yeah. So that's my number 4. Reggie, what's your number 3?
All right, man. So number 3 for me is a game that I would say it arrived a bit late, but I still was able to enjoy it. And that game is Ys 10 Nordics. So I put around, I think, a little over 50 hours in this game. I really enjoyed it. It started off kind of slow, like peacefully, and everything. But after a while, I was hooked. I would say like around the 3rd or 4th chapter in the game, I was hooked. And this game was very compelling. The mystery of what's going on, trying to solve what's happening in the world or the town you're in. It just works out great. And I love the travel aspect of how you don't have to like run around everywhere. You have like the surfboard that are kind of like take you around areas, which I thought was great. So very exciting, very likable characters. I mean, Ys game has really never let me down. I would say the only thing I didn't like about this game was that there was no cartoon intro like what happened in Ys 9. But I feel like these guys are being a little bit cheaper now. And maybe those intros cost a lot of money, like too much money. But I think they're worth having because they're tradition. But anyways, going back to the game, Adult Christian, this takes place after Ys 2. So this is kind of like the 3rd like story-driven entry in the series. And man, it did not let down, guys. It's the combat they changed from the last game. I really liked it how you're linked together, and the parry system was very well implemented. So definitely something that I think a lot of Ys fans will love. Ys is just something that I treasure, and I love when a new game comes out. They don't come out very often. We may get a new Ys game every, I would say 2 to 3 years. It's not like yearly like the Legend of Heroes games, which would be great. Yeah, they don't want their number 1 to kind of like, I think it's their number 1 to kind of be like a yearly thing, and I get that. So, yeah, my number 3 is Ys 10 Nordics.
Right on, man. Ys 10.
Yeah, I put a lot of hours into it, so. Yeah.
Not sure I'm familiar with the series, but
Oh yeah. Maybe.
So my number 3. This game, it could probably be higher, but I haven't finished it yet. But since I started playing, I couldn't put it down, and that is Wukong.
Whoa.
What is it? I forget the full name. But this game, from the moment it starts, you just know you're in for this like God of War epic adventure, right? And
right.
Now, if anyone knows me, they know I'm not the biggest God of War fan. The new ones. I love the old God of Wars. The new one where you don't jump. You're just kind of babysitting that boy. I just couldn't get into it. To each their own. This one, I feel like it's a triple A God of War stylish game. What God of War I would like a lot more if it was, It's not as hard as people say it is. I'm a little confused why people complain how hard it is. I felt it very enjoyable. This is the world I'm in. So I don't really like these open world type of games, and where you're going around and it's very fits to the formula, like the skill tree, get to a save point, but in what I like, I just love this world, and this is the world of what is Journey to the West, if you know those movies, Monkey King, stuff like that. So this is my bread and butter here, right? And I love martial arts movies. I know that. And this game does things like, look, here I turn into a bee. You know what I mean? Or a hornet or whatever. And like you would think, it's very formulaic in some parts, and then it just flips a script on you, which is cool. And the combat's really good. It's not perfect, but it's good. I find it fun. And like you might face like a crazy big boss, and he just mobs you. You can just walk right by him, get to a different boss, beat him, get a little bit more power, then go beat that guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So you're not like bound to like, okay, this is you got to beat this guy to get to the next guy to get to the next guy. No, you could get all the way to the other side of the map, start killing some guys and stuff, and then go back to those ones that you missed. But this is, and here's the thing, like in this footage, I'm trying to gather supplies, and that plant turns into a monster. So like when you're gathering things, you know, that's what I'm saying, like things that it does that flips the script on you. I had so much fun with this. The bosses are fun. They're not like Dark Souls hard, so you can beat them. It's just a boss, right?
Right.
Where like sometimes with Dark Souls games, I just get burned out. Like, okay, I gotta play this boss another 800 times, you know, and do it perfect and everything. Where here, I feel like they give you your basic leveling up, skills tree to get stronger, fight the boss, and beat him. And I'm telling you, man, this game is so addictive. Like from the moment you pick it up, you don't want to put it down, and that's what I love about it. So I highly recommend this game. I know it didn't win Game of the Year this year for the Game of the Year awards, and it didn't win Game of the Year of mine. But I felt like if I could play it, had a little more time, because this is one that I got back from vacation, Christmas time, and I just started playing it. And I'm like, holy smokes, this is awesome. But I haven't played enough to make it my number one, sadly. So it is what it is. It might be my number one. Like I said, time is just our enemy at this moment. So I can't. Have you played it, Reggie?
I have not. I remember it was digital only for a while, and then it got a physical.
It just got physical, yep.
It's just, it was still expensive because I have other games that I gotta like put some attention on. So by the time if I take interest in that game, it'll probably be around $20 by the time I look at it. So
it's gonna be a while. But definitely worth a buy, man. You gotta play it. It brings back those old. For me, it brought back a lot of old school, like the epic grand scope of it. It's very cinematic, but how big it is and how grand the guys are. It's like God of War 3, you know, type of style, that feel to it. Okay. More than a Souls game, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it deserved Game of the Year?
If it won, yeah, I guess. It didn't win.
No, it didn't, which was weird. But
well, you know what? And that, you know, I'll talk about that.
Okay.
Later.
All right. Well, my number 2 is a game I think we're both familiar with. Something I got because of you. You know, I got because of you, and that is Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. My number 2. Me and Joel put some hours into this game. Yeah. Oh my God, this game is epic. It took them 8 years to make this game, and it did not let down. You know, the online for this game, the co-op is so much fun. The boss battles are epic. You know, you fight some like crazy bosses in this game, and teaming up with Joel and fighting these bosses was just epic. You know, and I remember I got into a match with you where I was like underpowered, and I leveled up so much. Like, I was like, yes, dude. And then you could go in the game with your main character leveled up from the online battles. Now, there was a couple of patch issues in the beginning where we couldn't like get out of a battle we won, but we would win a lot of experience. The game would lock up on us, but luckily that got fixed.
Yeah, it did.
But we lost some experience there. I was mad, but it didn't deter me from playing the game online and leveling up more. Man, it's just I want to play this more with you online soon when you have time. But I beat the story. The story is very long, you know, and it kind of still goes on after you beat the story. There's like a zero mode they add, where it's like an epilogue story too. It's just, man, they put so much effort into this game. As you can see here, like, dude, look at this. Like, this is epic. Like, it's just, I can't say enough about this game. Very impressed. Definitely my number 2 for Game of the Year. I just feel like I just had a great time with this game. But the only thing the only reason it's not my number 1 is because I didn't really get to play it as much as I wanted to. So, yeah, but Grand Blue Fantasy, definitely a game that everybody should pick up now. It's a lot cheaper now. I think it's going around like maybe $30-$40. Definitely worth it. This game was worth actually $80, but I didn't pay that. Well, yeah, I paid. Yeah, I got the collector's edition, so yeah, I can play something close to that, but I can't remember. But anyways, that game.
Grand Blue Fantasy. Well, great minds think alike, because my number 2 is Grand Blue Fantasy, man.
Whoa! All right, look at this footage.
Oh yeah, like this is the beginning of the game. You're not looking at end game footage here. You're looking at the first 5 minutes, like that dragon and that fight. This is a game, and every RPG should learn something from this game. Where there's a lot of RPGs, there's always that spot or a couple spots where things slow down. Like Tales of Arise is there's a part where you're just like, oh my gosh, I got to push through it, you know, to get to the next part. This game, you pick it up, it just goes and it goes and it goes. The pacing's so well done. And before you know it, you're close to the end. And you're like, holy smokes, man, is my adventure over? Like, you know, you just want it to keep going. It feels so grand. It feels so epic. The graphics are great. Everything about this game, and like playing with Reggie online, and like, wow, it's beautiful. The game is beautiful. Story's great. Graphics are great. The music's great. And so many people slept on it. No one talked about it. No one. You know, it's not going to make anyone else's top list except for ours, probably. You know, it's at number 2, and I actually bought the big collection with the dragon statue and everything. Yeah. And I did an unboxing. You can watch that on our channel. Speaking of which, don't forget to subscribe to Radical Reggie and myself. Actually, our X handles are down there at the bottom too, if you guys want to follow us, see what we're up to. But yeah, you can watch that unboxing on my channel. And yeah, that's my number 2. So I don't even know I can't even think of what your number 1 is. I'm trying to guess.
Oh, you know what number 1 is, man. My number 1 game of the year. Something that when it came out, everything kept interrupting me, trying to stop me from playing it. But luckily, I got to play it a couple weeks later. But that is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Yes! Oh my god, I love this game so much. And I'm going to go back. I only got to play through it once. I did a massive playthrough of it, lots of hours into it. But there's a lot of stuff I want to still do. But man, this game felt like it was alive, man. Like the voice acting, the characters you talk to, the side stories, just like everything was epic. And it really expands on the story of Final Fantasy VII, which a lot of you guys know I was disappointed in the original game on PlayStation. I felt like it was rushed, especially with the ending. But this game seems like it's going to make up for that, and it's going to expand upon that as well if you're paying attention to what's going on in the story, which I won't tell because, you know, still a lot of people probably haven't played this game, but it is amazing. And when I talk about the first remake, I gotta talk about how Aerith got on my nerves, but in the original game, I loved Aerith, you know, just reading text, you know, you don't know the context of some of these characters' voices or whatever like that. But, like, she really annoyed me in the remake, but in this game, I fell in love with her again. I was like, yes, man, Aerith is cool. So definitely something that'll make up to a lot of fans who have played the original games. And if you like the remake, of course, you'll like this one too. I know a lot of people say they want to wait till all 3 games come out, but I say you guys are crazy. These games are massive. But if you do wait till all of them come out, you're in for a hell of an experience. But yeah, definitely my game of the year. And I hope it is yours too.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm the guy that's waiting for all 3 to come out, or at least for it to go on PC so we can get those awesome mods. I'm just kidding. That's awesome, man. That's a good number 1. I want to play it so bad. There's times where I'm like, but I feel like they're gonna release a collection. And maybe I'm thinking to Blu-ray, to movie media. But if they release the ultimate collection of all of them on there, and that Crisis Core that they remade, like all those like that.
2028, you'll probably get that collection. So 3 more years.
Yep. So okay, that's a good solid number 1.
Yeah.
My number 1, if you watch the show, comes at no surprise, and of course, you know, it is me 100%. We're talking about East 10 Nordics, and this game, there's Reggie and I. Reggie tells me he's gonna buy me an orange wig and himself, and we're gonna play as Adol on the stream. I'm telling you guys, if you watch this gameplay, the combat is so good. If you get into like a zone, this is me in a zone right here, just like I'm on it. Okay, I missed that obviously, but when you get into a zone, it feels so good. This is the best that an Ease game has felt combat wise, and it's actually a really good story. So people always ask me, is it better than Ease 8? And I say, listen, Ease 8 is the best. I think out of the three new ones, 8, 9, and 10, Ease 8 probably still is the best because it has that. Something about not having an anime intro really brings an Ease game down because every Ease game had an anime intro, and they took those out. This game, they did that. I would say that Ease 8 is the best overall game. Ease 9 has the gosh. No, okay. Ease 8 has the best music. Ease 9 has the best story, and then Ease 10 has the best gameplay. That's what I would kind of rate those as. And this game right here, man, I was not disappointed. Like Reggie said, it is a slow burn, but luckily that slow burn is set up that actually pays off story wise. And then by the time, like Reggie said, when you get to chapter 3, you're in. You're like, you are so in. And the bosses are awesome. The style of fighting, it can be Souls-like at times, I guess you could say, where you just have to really crack down and figure it out. But it's an Ease game, and if you're getting murdered, you can just go and grind and get some levels to beat them. Adol is looking the best he ever has. As far as graphic wise, I really like that it's not 4 people like Ease 8 and Ease 9. You're switching in between 4 different people, and I felt like I usually just stayed on Adol most of the time. I would level up the other guys, in case I was dying or something. Where here, I felt like I played both of them and like very about the same, because they both had their advantages and stuff. So, but its biggest flaw is like, and I'm fast forwarding all this, is all the chatter. There's so much talking. I want to shoot myself sometimes.
Very story driven between characters. Like, it's like you really get to know the characters inside out, sometimes it kind of could mess up the flow of a game. You want to kind of move it along. But overall, I think it's cool to have, because you can skip it like you were right there.
Yeah, I wasn't. I'm just skipping it in the footage.
Well, somewhat skipping it in a way. It gives you options. It gives you options to skip through some stuff. So yeah.
And here we are with the whole pirate ship stuff. The map is ginormous. Once you think you're like, oh, this is big, they throw us another like 5 pages of maps, and you have way more to explore. I loved upgrading the ship, and I love the pirate ship battles. I'm telling you, man, this game, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's definitely the game I put the most time in this year, and I'm looking forward to what's coming next. I know Ease Versus is coming next year, next year, and Ease Oath of Falgana is coming out. So we got 2 Ease games coming, and so it's a good time to be an Ease fan.
Right.
I got here some captured footage of just like this game felt a little more than I would never call Ease a AAA game.
Right.
But you can see there with some of these scenes, especially like this one that we're showing, it's actually taken step forwards to that. Like going for
especially with this scene right here. Oh my God, that was outstanding. Like going through that, I was like, dude, this is amazing. And Joel, you didn't mess up the first time, right? You got through that whole part without messing up?
No, I messed up. You were watching it. I know, because we were streaming together.
I messed up right there. That's where I messed up right there for me. I messed up on that part. But other than that, it went by pretty smoothly. But it was still like epic how it played out, man. And if games have more stuff like that in it, man, you really feel like it's just a great cinematic experience as well. And Ease is getting there with this one, definitely. But I agree with what you said about this game. The combat is definitely the best in the series. It would be between this and Ease 8 which ones I like the most in the series as of right now. And then another thing with this one that people might not know is that they're making a new version of it, which shocked me and Joel. Joel, you want to kind of go in on that a little bit?
You know more than I do. I was on the road and you were texting. We were texting back and forth. You're like, did you hear the announcement? I'm like, I'm traveling. What's going on? So you tell me.
Yeah, so they announced a new version of the game that's going to have extra story in it, some gameplay fixes, and that's all I could read. But it looked like, I'm hoping that for us, since we just bought the game, that they could like maybe release it for as DLC. I just don't want to buy another physical copy of an Ys game. I want it just to be kind of like, patched on this one, because I feel like depending on how much they're going to put on it, that'll decide if it's worth getting another physical copy of it. But then there's this, I don't know, I just feel bad. I already got the game and then they announced this. Like, I feel like it's a slap in the face. But if they give us more details about how they're going to do it and if released properly, I think I'll be okay with it. But yeah.
Yeah, because what if it's the old game? But yeah, it seems like it has to be a pretty significant amount of game content,
right?
To make it worth buying a whole nother version. And I don't 100%. Think Ys would do something like that. I think they were like, okay, listen, or it's just a whole new Ys game,
right?
And playable after you. Maybe it's like Final Fantasy 13 2. What if it's Ys 10 2? Well, I guess Final Fantasy 10 had part 2 too, didn't it?
It did. That was the first one to actually do it.
Yeah. So maybe they're just trying to they're going to do something like that. What if it's something like that? It's just a whole nother game. You buy Ys 10 and then there's this other part coming out. That'd be cool.
No. I want my Ys stories to be ended in each game, like that story arc. I don't want add-ons and stuff like that. I want them to get all their ideas out so they have fresh ideas for the newer games that they release in the future. But I don't know, man. We're living in different times now where everybody just hey, just patch this and hey, we'll add this to it later. And I don't know what's going on, but I'm glad Ys that was your number one. It could have been my number one. No, I doubt it because Final Fantasy was too strong. But could have been my number 2 if it wasn't delayed.
What were some of the games in 2004 that got away? Like games
you're like,
okay, I want to play this. I just didn't have time. I mean, obviously, Final Fantasy was one of mine.
Right.
That's the one on my list.
Just 2 for me. Silent Hill 2 remake. I decided I was going to buy it when it went on sale for $30, and I nonchalantly was shopping at Walmart and online and had it in my cart. I said, "Oh well, let me go looking for some other stuff here." And then when I get to the checkout, it says this item is sold out. I was like, "Wow, dude! Like really?" So that happened twice. And then the other game was Astrobot. I didn't get to play that. I wanted the controller for it because the controller looked awesome for it, but it kept selling out. I was like, whatever. And then when the game came out, when the game was on sale, I missed out on that. So I was like, oh, maybe it wasn't meant to be. So I'll play it when the price is right. And those are the 2 that I didn't get to this year.
Mine was, and I'm missing an RPG here, and I can't remember what it's called, but the first one, obviously, Astrobot. I wanted to play that. That was Game of the Year. That won against Wukong. The actual demo or mini game that came with the PlayStation was so much fun. Mm-hmm. It was so much fun. Yeah. I was like, man, if they make this a full game, it's gonna do amazing. And
it should have released with the PS5. That would have been epic.
Man, we've already had a hard time finding a PS5 as it is. Could you imagine if that was a pack-in?
Exactly.
So that one, and of course the Dragon Quest 3 remaster. I didn't get to play for time purposes as well. I wanted to play that. And then Metaphor, another JRPG I wanted to play, just didn't have time. And I know there's one other game, I'm just looking for it. I'm just trying to see what it is. I can't remember the name of it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. But those are the ones that kind of got away from me. Let us know in the comment section, what are the games that we missed? What are the games that we needed to look at? Because I know there's another one, a big one, and I'm just blanking on it. I can't remember what it is. So, But we did it, Reggie. Another year.
Yeah, we knocked it out, man. The same routine, which is awesome.
Another year of gaming. Holy smokes. What's next year going to bring?
Yeah, I'm hoping next year we'll bring some special games.
Monster Hunter World 2.
That's gonna be one I buy day one with you.
Dude, Reggie says this. I don't.
No,
I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, it's getting a physical, so I saw that. I was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna definitely do this. I'm gonna see what Joel's talking about finally. So I'm gonna pick it up, brother. I promise you. See you heard it here on Media Glitch.
All right, you guys heard it. It's a learning curve, but I'm willing to help you with that learning curve.
All right.
There's a lot to those games. Yeah, I think that's the only thing I'm thinking about. As far as next year, I can't think of anything else that's coming out, right?
Yeah, nothing really is gonna. I mean, I got enough to play as it is, so next year, hopefully, we'll see.
So, all right, guys, thank you so much for joining us again. Another year in the books. We'll see what next year is bringing. Let us know in the comment section, what are you excited for next year? Like, comment, and subscribe, because that motivates me. Right now, my only motivation to do videos is Reggie. And he's like, Joel, you got to do a video. And so that's what gets me to do videos. Because I need you guys' support. Go tell a friend about Media Glitch. Say, hey, man, you guys should subscribe to this guy. And you'll get more content for sure from us. So, but we do stream a lot. So go check us out over on Twitch. And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Later on.
Gatos locos forever. Forever.
Forever.